All right, Amy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Today we're going to look at Bash at the Beach.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yep, this is from WWE Network. 2 hours and 9 minutes in. This is Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone.
That's a basketball player.
Yep. And for people who are not familiar, Amy is brand new to wrestling. This is her first couple weeks watching wrestling. How many matches do you think you've seen total in your life?
This is like 8 now?
Maybe
9,
8th match?
Like
So you're just getting a quick course in wrestling,
Yes.
and we've decided a lot of people want you to watch like the very classic matches of holds in wrestling, but it's kind of more fun for somebody who's new just to see the trash.
I like seeing the crazy stuff.
The crazy stuff, right?
Yep.
So
the
this
Yeti. The Mantor.
Mantar and Yeti were some of her first matches. People question me for not showing Flair versus Steamboat, but I don't think she's ready for that yet, folks. So leave us a comment what she should watch next as I'm pressing play right now, 2 hours and 9 minutes into Bash at the Beach 1998.
Ooh, okay. So Dennis Rodman and who else?
Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz are in the ring right now.
Oh, wait,
And-
so it's 2 basketball players.
NBA All-Stars.
They are very tall.
Yep. If you just watched the Michael Jordan documentary on ESPN, they just talked about how Dennis Rodman would leave like during the season, during the NBA Finals, and go do wrestling stuff with the nWo and Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
So
Wait, nWo, didn't you have fish called that at one time?
the New Water Order, yes, there were 7 of them. So Hulk Hogan.
Oh
and-
my goodness, he is so bald here. I saw him earlier and his hair was not
He had
that
more-
shiny. No.
So when you saw him, it was an era where it was Andre versus Hulk.
Right,
So
yes.
this is your first time seeing bad guy Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's why he's wearing black. Oh, and he's
Yeah.
taunting him, doing like the chicken dance.
Yep. And this is DDP, Diamond Dallas Page
I
in
know
the
who
back.
that is
Do
because
you?
I'm very into yoga. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So DDP and Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz, who is jacked for a guy who's 6'9",
Yeah.
and versus Dennis Rodman and the immortal Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Ooh, so Hollywood Hulk Hogan's when he's bad, right?
Hollywood is bad, yeah.
Ooh, I like this. I like his outfit better now in the
Than-
black than the red
Yellow
and
and red,
yellow.
yeah.
He looked like Ronald McDonald or something then, but
He's seemingly more tan now.
he is so tan. That is not a natural skin color.
Yeah, what else do you notice about him being different than his 1987 Hulk Hogan? He's much smaller.
Yeah. What?
And he described like when he had to get off steroids after the steroid allegations and trials and everything with WWE that he just deflated. You see his skin's a little less tight.
Yeah.
Probably doing other workout methods, testosterones and things, but not the 300+ pound giant he was before.
You're definitely looking more technically like at the body. I'm just confused by the facial hair and trying to figure all of the hair out in general. That is not normal. I think he might be desensitized to
No, I was getting
Hulk
there.
Hogan.
I was letting you bring that up.
Is it like
He has the black
like black
root beard.
and then the Fu Manchu thing
That's
is
blonde.
blonde and
Both dyed different colors.
is the hair on his head like his actual hair? I'm so confused by all of it.
You know, they say that Hulk Hogan at some point was getting hair extensions, but I don't think these are hair extensions. As a hair extension, you don't have hair extensions, correct?
Oh no, of course not.
Right. You have natural black hair. For people who don't know, think of curvy up top, Morticia Addams. Is that close enough?
I'll take it, yeah.
Yeah. Does he have hair extensions here?
I don't know. I don't think that's normal hair. It looks like a track in the back. Like it's like
Yeah.
2 different layers and he's just bald. I don't know why they would let him have that.
Well, he's a bad guy, so he can look a little weird.
Yeah. It almost like are his eyebrows bleached too?
I would think so, yeah. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Referee today is Charles Robinson. We have Tony Schiavone, and I believe I hear Bobby Heenan in the background. We have the volume turned down as to not get us a copyright claim by WWE and WWE Network.
Okay, so who is on whose team? So
Diamond Dallas Page
Yes.
and Karl Malone have purple pants, so they're on the same team.
Right, that's what I was like, they got the same pants, so they
Yes.
have to be working together.
If you're going to be on a tag team, you should at least get matching pants.
Right.
And
It's
then,
pretty cool. But Dennis Rodman didn't go for black pants with Hulk.
yeah, well, I mean, he's wearing a T-shirt, I think, which is funny because Dennis Rodman is in good shape, you would think, as an NBA All-Star, but he's wearing a T-shirt.
Well, he looks way cooler in normal clothes. Like, he's the only one that looks like not it. Everyone else should be embarrassed for what they're wearing, and Dennis Rodman just kind of looks like the most sane human, which has been probably the only time ever that Dennis Rodman has looked like the most sane human.
Right.
In the group.
That's fair to say. Now, Dennis Rodman making a
Rodzilla on his T-shirt. That's cool. Okay, I like it, and I want that T-shirt.
So, like, if you were to be Dennis Rodman, you're gonna fight somebody. Essentially, you're gonna wrestle somebody.
Yeah.
Describe like what he's wearing and if this is a good decision.
It looks like rain boots almost.
He's wearing rain boots.
I don't know.
Blue jeans.
Yeah.
White T-shirt. A lot of earrings.
Yeah.
Nose ring. Lip ring.
What I've seen from most fights is that you are specifically supposed to take out your earrings before you fight.
I think that's a UFC
like a
rule. I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar takes out his lip ring before his fights.
Yes. Nose rings, can't imagine that has any sort of advantage.
Is Rodman wearing mascara?
Let me check out.
Okay. Meanwhile, why don't you give your impression and thoughts on Diamond Dallas Page and his look?
So far, I like him. I mean, he's into yoga, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him.
He's got a better haircut now. He's got shorter hair.
Yeah.
He's like when Thor got his haircut.
But 1998, I'm sure that was really cool.
I don't think it was. I don't think bleach blonde Jerry. I know you weren't very old at the time, but I wouldn't have suggested a bleach blonde Jerry curl.
Oh, well, I thought maybe it was a different time.
It was a different time. Ooh, DDP now spitting on Dennis Rodman.
Oh, he's like getting. Oh, this is clearly before he found yoga because he's not very calm.
I know this is going to surprise you, but I think DDP, now I haven't checked Wikipedia, so please correct me if I'm wrong, crowd, but I feel like he managed some, like, whether strip clubs or bars in South Florida. I know that's surprising sounding.
All I can think about is every time you say DDP, it just sounds like a sex act. Okay. I'm like, oh, what is DDP again?
Yeah,
oh.
You don't want to watch the scene with DDP in it.
Yes.
Dennis Rodman, DDP's Hulk Hogan. You don't want to see that. And Karl Malone. So Dennis Rodman locks up, and I guess
I would be afraid if I were, one of the actual, like, basketball players. I would not be happy if I was their coach that they were doing this, because it seems like they could get hurt. Yeah. Even if they're careful, because it still is really physical.
Sure. Yeah, imagine 1998. I would have to look at the exact year, but I would think the Chicago Bulls were probably world champions.
Right.
And he's a Chicago Bull, smaller power forward for them. If you're Michael Jordan, you have to be like, careful, buddy.
Right.
We need you.
Yeah.
We're paying you several $1 million a year.
Don't get DDP'd, bro.
Did you just say that?
Am I allowed to say that on YouTube?
I think so. YouTube may censor us, but if you hear beeps in here, this has been age restricted for the DDPing. So Rodman,
he got out of it though, and he is like actually Dennis Rodman's a pretty compelling wrestling actor. Like he has a good, like he's definitely watchable.
Yeah, no, he's more of a character than most wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right. Folks, if you get a chance, we also have.
Oh, he just jumped over him twice.
Amy has never seen a leapfrog before, so that was.
Actually, I think I did see that with maybe Neville in the ladder match.
Oh, we did.
Everybody was going crazy.
Yes.
Maybe, I think there was one leapfrog there, and I was super impressed by it. But he just did a double leapfrog, and that was pretty cool.
I don't think we've published the ladder match yet. I'll have to look into that.
Oh, well.
Amy,
no spoilers, sorry.
Yeah, Amy and I, I think I have to look into where that file is, but we watched a ladder match in WWE from 2015, I think it was.
Takeaway, not super impressed with. There was like 8 people there, and they only fought 2 at a time, and then everyone would just be knocked out for like several minutes. It seemed really fake.
So your impression as a new fan, you watched some 80s, some 90s, and some wrestling today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you think of the 80s?
It was ridiculous, but it was charming, and it was very ridiculous.
Yeah. Andre versus Hulk was fun to watch.
Yes.
90s? What did you think of, whether it's this era, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker? You've seen.
I like it. I love The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Even the kind of soap opera of the Stone Cold Steve Austin was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool. You know, the underdog, and this is fun.
And then today, the only match you've seen so far is a ladder match from TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Present day, Neville.
Oh! Cheap shot from Dennis Rodman.
What did you think of that?
Sorry. The newer stuff, the physicality is awesome. The athleticism is super impressive.
Sure.
It's something like it just
You can say
leagues ahead of what you
Sure.
know.
Andre versus Hulk.
Right, exactly. So it's definitely interesting to watch, almost as a sport. Like if you're watching gymnastics or
Sure.
something, it's really impressive. But it takes itself too seriously, and it's
Yeah.
hard to totally buy into that when it's just overly serious.
I agree.
It's just
Yeah.
not. It loses its fun. It loses the magic of it being kind of like silly and good versus evil and whatever when it is just fake athleticism going back and forth. It's not as fun.
Absolutely.
This is fun though.
I think a lot of our fans, nostalgia fans,
Yeah.
have a hard time buying into Sheamus and Neville and Kofi Kingston. They're athletic, but they just don't have the same personality
Right.
as.
You need a little like kind of wink wink.
Yes.
We're in on it too. It doesn't seem like the characters are in on it.
Yeah.
And that's hard to find fun.
We've watched Avengers recently, and like it's kind of fun because you can tell like Thor doesn't take himself too seriously. Tony Stark cracks a joke every once in a while.
Right. When they
They
become
tease.
self-aware, it's a little easier to be like, okay, I can let myself buy into the fantasy because they know it's a fantasy too.
Yeah.
We're all in on the joke together. They're not pulling a joke on me.
Weird, yeah.
You know?
And there's a lot of people who want wrestling to be more real, but those same people long for the days when it was kind of
I like this because
fun.
it's like they know that it's entertainment, it's a joke,
Sure.
and we know we're all on the same playing field. We all get
Sure.
it together. The more modern stuff felt like they're trying to trick me.
Oh, yeah.
It's harder.
They're
to
trying to
let
be the
yourself-
NFL, yeah.
It's harder to let yourself enjoy that if you feel like you're being manipulated.
Sure. Well, and there are some people that would say that Dennis Rodman
Yeah.
wrestling with Hulk Hogan and Karl
Those
Malone,
pants. Sorry, Karl Malone's
purple pants.
purple pants were just very on the screen. they are something else.
Too much.
They don't make that fabric past 1998. They
No.
don't. That material doesn't
That's not
exist
fabric.
anymore.
That's a synthetic for sure. So, but there's a lot of people would say, well, you can't like it takes away from the authenticity to have somebody who plays basketball competing with essentially the world champion level guys in wrestling. That'd be like Hulk Hogan going and playing in the NBA. It's unbelievable. But is it fun?
But it's fun, and that's
Yeah.
the point. It's sports entertainment. Clearly, the crowd likes it, and especially I could imagine if you're a kid and you're a Dennis Rodman fan and you get to see him wrestle Hulk Hogan, that's like, oh my god, you're like best day ever.
Kind of that's my story. I was a big Hulk Hogan fan, and I liked the Detroit Pistons and Dennis Rodman in their era. So seeing them in the ring together, I definitely was excited, even if I had to suspend disbelief. But you have to do that with wrestling.
Yeah.
So these guys, Karl Malone and
Oh, I just noticed that Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman and the whole nWo, they all have the same rain boot things going on. Like, and they all match and kind of have some cool, like, nWo stuff on it.
their black boots with almost sprayed.
Yeah,
what is
it
that?
almost looks
Airbrushed.
Like, yeah, it almost looks like airbrushed on their rain boots.
Those are just wrestling boots. Wrestlers
They
wear
look
that
very
style
shiny,
boot.
though.
Yeah. So Karl Malone, I think, is doing a
Yeah.
fantastic job for somebody who's never wrestled before.
Yeah.
You know, this is his first time dancing, if you will, and he's believable and entertaining,
Yep.
athletic.
Oh, he's doing all the. Is that his like girlfriend or something? Maybe.
I don't know, but she's wearing a DDP hat, so
yeah. Doing the.
Must be Karl Malone's
diamond.
wife, Mrs. Malone.
She's cute.
So are you excited for what era match would you like to watch
Oh.
next?
I want to watch more of the cool gimmick stuff. I want to see.
You want the cool gimmicks or the awful gimmicks?
That's what I mean by cool. I want the awful ones. I want the like who does like how did they not know what a Yeti was kind of things.
So that was a question you and I asked, like when the Yeti came out at Halloween Havoc. 7'7" mummy. Did the people who wrote that, what was your question?
Did they know what a Yeti was?
Or did they just
mess
screw
it
up?
Or did they just screw it up? Because he looks more like a mummy.
Yeah, so did the costume guy go, oh, you want a Yeti? No problem. And he was thinking mummy and he just did the wrong thing?
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
I have to wonder that.
Yeah.
So Hulk Hogan now slapping DDP with his belt? With a weightlifting belt.
That's some really 90s stuff. That's like 90s corporal punishment.
Next he'll be taking his fanny pack and beating him with it.
No.
Did you ever have a fanny pack?
No, I was too young to, I think,
have
cool? Things when I was like...
I mean, you may still have one. They're a thing.
No.
What about a beeper? That's way before you.
Yeah, that's way before me.
Yeah. So this is...
Okay, what are they chanting right now? They're all...
You effed up, I think, maybe. You up.
That's kind of edgy.
Yeah, crowds were pretty... I think in the 90s, crowds were more edgy than they are today. People, TV shows, there was a nip slip on occasion. It was a lot better back in the day. People could do more things and be way more offensive in 2000. Ask Jimmy Kimmel. Wait, don't ask Jimmy Kimmel.
No.
I'm sorry. I apologize. So, Hulk Hogan now stepping on DDP's neck.
Oh, no. That's believable. They're good at what they do.
So those wrestling boots are a little bit more soft-soled boots than your actual, like, boots, obviously, because you're going to kick someone with it. It's got a little more spongy material. Not to take away the fantasy. Yeah.
I like knowing the little, like, inside stuff.
Yeah, if you think about that, if you're stepping on someone's face, you're going to want a very squishy boot.
Makes sense.
I mean, still, you don't want to be stepped on your face.
Right,
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So you think it's going to be the...
Wait, how is he tagging two of them in at the same time? He's not supposed to do that.
When you tag someone in theory, you have, I believe, 10 seconds, depending on the organization, to both be in the ring before someone else has to leave.
Oh, so kind of 10 seconds to double team a little bit.
And I think technically wrestling just says
double teaming, is that a DDP?
Double teaming? That is a DDP. I think they actually say a 10 count.
Okay.
So it isn't even seconds. It's just till I count to 10, which could take a while.
Sneaky.
Yeah, wrestling has very vague rule set.
Yeah.
It's not 10 seconds, it's just 10 counts. So they're double teaming Hulk Hogan and Dennis Rodman. And the referee just said 4, and then he's like, break it up, you need to stop. 5, okay, you guys need to stop doing this. It doesn't have to be seconds.
That is tricky. I like it.
Yeah, a very vague set of rules so the bad guys can take advantage of the rules.
Karl, is that Karl?
Karl Malone.
Okay, he is like really upset right now and he's yelling at the ref. He's very animated.
He's a monster. He's a big dude. I remember him being in like the cover of Muscle and Fitness in his day. Like for a basketball player, he was the first just jacked LeBron James looking guy, being that big.
It's interesting seeing the difference between maybe like his body and like Hulk Hogan or some of the other wrestlers that are just more, I think, kind of for show than maybe being super athletic in a basketball. Just the way their bodies look different. They're both obviously have crazy awesome physiques, but Karl seems a little more functional than some of the
an athlete's physique.
Yeah, like muscles on top of muscles.
Well, I think Karl Malone obviously has to run up and down the court 48 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan has to stay within a squared circle and throw people.
Yeah, it's just a different
set
body. Ooh.
Dennis Rodman definitely is known for his speed.
That looks like it has to hurt. I know that those things are padded, but that just has to hurt your back. There's no way around it.
I would say professional wrestling may be the most physical sport in terms of injuries, in terms of just messing up your back and shoulders and neck. I mean, you can't do this all day without a mess of injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, I jumped off the couch and twisted my ankle the other day. It was brutal.
I woke up and hurt my neck like a month ago. It hurt for like 3 days. I did nothing. I just woke up.
Yeah, so I can't imagine being thrown around like this. These guys are tough, and kudos to them.
Crazy. Hulk Hogan is so sweaty. I keep expecting his like tan to come off.
Yeah, so
in all of the sweat.
at this era, is this a spray tan? What is this?
I don't know what it is. I hope it's a spray tan. It just makes me like scared for his skin if it is not. He's just living in a tanning bed.
By 1998, yeah, you would think maybe that spray tan is invented and he could have done that.
I would hope so.
Maybe both.
He looks like a hot dog.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he probably has a tanning booth in his hot dog. One of those ones you see at Circle K on the the rollers.
Yep.
So that's a longer match. So what's your ideal length right now for a match? Because there's some matches that go an hour.
I think I could. I mean, it just depends on what's going on.
Oh.
I like the ones that have a defined ending, though. I think the most disappointing one that I've seen so far was the chloroform one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I want to know like who wins, and it'd be kind of legit.
So you didn't like seeing that was WrestleMania, The Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And the match ended kind of in a disqualification when Giant Gonzalez used chloroform to take out the Undertaker.
Whether it's short or long or whatever, I just want it to be more
clear
cut and dry, clear winner.
Yeah. Well, sometimes in wrestling, though, it's a soap opera, if you will, for men. So it's a story arc that you're not watching the final thing. Like, they're teasing to the next match, you know?
I don't like cliffhangers.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah, you want to know the ending.
Oh, he got him. He tagged him in.
So Karl Malone is tagged in fresh, and Hulk Hogan's pleading for his life as a bad guy would do. As a heel, as they say in wrestling, would do.
Okay, so heels are more likely to beg for mercy.
Yeah, be wimps, be cheaters, take the...
That's crazy. He just picked up Hulk Hogan, and he's picking up Dennis Rodman and slamming everybody.
Body slamming
That's impressive.
Karl's got some shoulders. If you look at Karl's shoulders compared to Hulk Hogan, they're comparable, and Karl is a running guy. Yeah. You know, like he runs for a living.
He's so much taller, and I know that Hulk Hogan is tall, too, so it's just crazy to see. Oh, he punched their heads together.
Hulk Hogan's probably, at one point advertised at 6'8". I would guess about 6'4" at this point in his life. He's had some back surgeries and things. Karl Malone.
Beating his head against the side of the ring. That's crazy.
Into the turnbuckle. So Karl Malone, quite the athlete, playing to the crowd.
They love it.
Signs for the diamond cutter, which is DDP's finishing maneuver.
Uh-oh. That looks really cool. I don't know what it is, but I really like it.
Oh, you haven't seen a diamond cutter, huh?
I'm excited.
It's a stunner type of move. I don't think you liked the ending of, like we did, Vince McMahon and Steve Austin, and they never even wound up wrestling. It was just a bunch of schmaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karl Malone signing for the diamond cutter.
Oh, that is so cool. I love it.
And I wonder if have you done DDP yoga?
Yes.
Yeah, and does he do the diamond cutter doing it, or he just snap? There's the diamond cutter. Did you do that during yoga?
You know what? I missed that one, but I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go back and check that one out.
If you get to do the diamond cutter during yoga, I am a yoga guru. Then I'm gonna take it up for sure.
Love it.
Oh, Dennis Rodman got diamond cut.
Yeah, and yoga would call that a diamond mudra.
Handsome. What's that mudra? I thought that was a vagina. Everybody's getting diamond cut.
Everybody's diamond cutting.
Oh no! And then the butcher, Ed Leslie, comes in and cheats and allows Hulk Hogan to beat DDP.
That's ridiculous.
So the bad guys came in from the outside and helped to allow Hulk Hogan to cheat.
Team Purple Pants was totally winning. Like they were totally gonna win.
Now another diamond cutter by Karl the Mailman Malone. So what do you think of that kind of ending when the good guys were winning and bad guys cheat to win?
But he just got up, and is he not winning? He's holding his hand up like he won.
Just because you hold your hand up does not mean your partner didn't get pinned.
Oh.
DDP got pinned by Hulk Hogan after Ed Leslie, the Butcher, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, cheated. So people are upset.
I'm mad too. We're all mad.
Yeah. And
he
diamond
just
cutter in the ref.
ref.
That's what you get for not paying attention, referee. So the good guys celebrate even though they lost.
I can get behind that. I like it. I count them as winners anyway because they totally were gonna win.
I like it. What do you think of the nWo's theme song, which I need to turn down again? I don't want copyright claims here. It's kind of like 70s porn. Can you hear it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I do like
Bass guitar.
I like their nWo like outfits and logo and stuff. It's pretty cool.
They were
I don't
kind of
really
like a
understand
gang.
it,
They were
I
a
like
gang, yeah. So they got gang signs and cheating and jumping in and things of the sort.
I'm very glad that Dennis Rodman's piercings didn't get ripped out because I was legitimately worried about that at several points during this match. So
Maybe they
that's
just clip
good.
on because, yeah, I don't know. I doubt it.
It's very scary.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening along with us. If you enjoy this, give us a recommendation as to what weird wrestling gimmicks Amy should check out next.
Yeah, weirder the better. Like the weirdest thing you can remember.
Thanks for watching, and adios,
Adios, amigos.
And now, let's hear from Karl Muscle with a word about Thinnergy.
Hey, what's up with everybody in the world? This your boy Karl Muscle, and as you see, I represent muscle and fitness and cuts and striations. You see what I'm saying? And this is a shout out to the team at Thinnergy. You guys are doing a great work, man. Nobody care more about fitness and nutrition than I do. So keep up the good work. It's all about incredible gains and great results. Stay motivated. Love y'all. Let me give you a little more inspiration and motivation. Look at them cuts. Love you. Stay blessed.
So if you want to boost your workout into high gear, try Thinnergy. It's an appetite suppressant and an energy booster. I take it as a pre-workout. Start today and get jacked like the genetic freak Big Karl Muscle. There's an Amazon link below.